Hi guys, watch me decorate an XL round cake. Now I have been absolutely dying to make this cake. And what are the odds? I saw Jane from Katiwa Cakes make this exact design on her live the other day, and I got to watch how she did it and kind of learn from her mistakes. I'm sure she won't mind me saying. I know she had a slight problem with the drip on this cake, so I basically decided to do everything the opposite way round. Oh my gosh, I haven't even told you guys. This is the teeny bit older cake, but it's the espresso martini version with like a spilt espresso martini on the top. And I think this is my fourth one of these cakes. I did the classic dirty martini one, I did a passion fruit martini one, I have done a mini espresso martini one, but this design is obviously quite different to that one. So I did my normal piping, I left a gap for the drip, and I popped this martini glass on the cake. And I made a dark chocolate ganache for the drip. I was going to use melted milk chocolate spread, but that tends to dry matte, and I wanted this to have a shiny finish. And it felt so weird making ganache because I've not made it for years. I used to use it for my drip cakes, but obviously I don't really make them anymore. And I was slightly worried because I know that ganache can be quite temperamental, but I'm so happy with how this came out. I don't think it could have gone any better. After I did the drip, I popped the cake in the fridge only for about 5 minutes just so that it would start to set before I went ahead and added my ruffle design onto the sides, obviously avoiding the drips. And by this point, all of the stress I had about this cake was gone. I'm not sure why I was really nervous about this design. I think it's because it is something different. But when I was doing it, I kind of broke it down in my head as it's basically just a hybrid of a retro cake and a drip cake, which are two things that I know I can do. But now I want to make another one. I think a wine one would be really cool. Maybe the drip could be made out of like jelly or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, if you guys have got any ideas, actually, please pop them in the comments. And for some reason, I was feeling extra fancy today, so I decided to add some drop lines onto the cake as well. As you can see, there was only one disaster, but it was a very, very easy fix. This is why I always make sure that my cakes are super cold before I start piping on them. And then I went ahead and piped a teeny bit older onto the top of the cake. I'm really sorry, I completely forgot to change the camera angle for this, so you can't really see what I'm doing. But this is another reason why it was important for the ganache to be somewhat set for this, because if not, this buttercream would have literally just slid around, probably mixed in with the ganache as well, which would have been an absolute nightmare. And if you spotted the burn I've got on my arm, I had an absolute disaster yesterday. One of my cakes literally fell in the oven and spilt everywhere, and I burnt my arm in the process. At this point, my arms are literally covered in scars from where I've burnt myself because I'm just so clumsy. And one of the last things I did